morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. How are you all? This is week 37. I hope I'm in the frame. I'm trying to do it a little further down. For those of you who are new, which I don't seem to see that many new people, but I'm so grateful that you've come. We're doing a challenge myself more this year than I did last year. Last year I challenged myself to 1,000 pounds. I almost made it to 2,000. This year I decided to make it a 2,000 pound challenge where I take 2,000 pounds of things that would either go down the garbage disposal or they would go out in the trash, not recycling because we recycle separately, but things that we would just put in the garbage. Things like your toilet paper rolls, if you have coffee cups, I have things over there, even things like if you come out of the shower and you use a Q-tip for your ears, you know, that can be recycled. I know that seems like that's so minuscule, Peggy. Why are you bothering with that? Why are you bothering with your popsicle ice cream sticks? Why are you bothering with your emery boards that you file your nails with? Why are you bothering with cork that is in your wine bottle? I mean, those are just, why are you bothering with papers that come on your cans? Why are you bothering to reuse this just plastic over and over again? And then you start to realize, why are you bothering? And it's just learning to put something in one place versus another. And it goes back into the soil versus going into your trash bag. And it all adds up. It's like teaching somebody why it's, you know, gee, I saw a dime on at the grocery store. When I bent over, I picked up a dime or I picked up a nickel. Maybe over your lifetime, maybe you only pick up a few bucks, but it's something. And so it's just all these little things that add up. And it's just amazing. I'll read to you what I save. And I save my fruits and vegetable peels, my eggshells. I've tried to put everything and show you what it is and what I'm saving. And I save them in these containers. Rick and I take a supplement every morning and it comes in one of these containers. And so I just take the label off and clean it out. And I use these for the food and supplements for my worms. And each one comes with its own little scoop in here. Now, if I went out and I said, gee, you know, I'm keeping worms and I need about, I don't know, a half dozen or a dozen or whatever of these, and I paid, you know, for some cute little set, you know, $30, $40 for a cute little set that came with the things. Or I can just not throw away what I'm already paying for what's inside of here, which is a supplement, and I've put it to good use. And it looks good. I mean, it doesn't look bad. And so it's just thinking. It's just putting your brain to work on thinking. My friend Sandra mentioned that she's over at Nana's Worms and Garden, by the way, if you're looking for a good informative channel. And she always says that if you take your canned foods and you can use those labels again, but also the liquid that's in, say, your corn or your peas or your beans or whatever, you can take that liquid and put it in your watering can. And there's sugars in it. There's the vitamins that leach out of the peas and corn and beans and whatever. I have a little container of rice there. I didn't do a rinse, but if you rinse your rice, vitamin B comes off of that. That's, you know, on the rice. And so all these things can go back to your plants instead of using chemical fertilizers. And we think that we're just one person, but if we hold hands and we reach out, and if you take this video and you go, you know what, I would really like to show this to somebody who might want to start recycling, or who might want to feel worth more than just one person, that we become a team, we become a family, we become a community, we become the next step. And so each one of these little steps, as we grow as a group, you know, I have people now coming back to me and saying, oh, you know what, we're building a house, but we're going to build a side room that's screened in, so that we can hang our laundry out and get a great breeze, but we don't have the bugs or less dust and what have you, so that we don't have to use our dryer as much or at all or whatever. And I thought, gee, yeah, that's a really great idea. And it got me to thinking about the times when I come back from my morning pool episode, and instead of taking I take 2 towels, one that I sit on in my car so that I don't get the seat wet, and I take them and I throw them in the dryer every morning, and I just walk away because I go and I shower and I go have breakfast. It's a cycle of 41 minutes. So if you think of that as being like 3/4 of an hour, just shy of it, so it's 3/4 times 7, so 21 quarters is what? Just over 5 hours. So every week I'm running the dryer for 5 hours just to dry my 2 towels. Now that's a real healthy practice for me to go and have my swim, but look what I'm using. I won't say wasting, but I'll say I'm using it. I don't like to use the word wasting because that just gives everybody, oh, she's putting on us, she's down on us. You're just using it. So if you use less, you actually save more. So with that, let me just say that I use my fruit and vegetable peels, our eggshells, our shrimp shells, our coffee grounds, tea leaves, any of that sort of thing. If you have any leaves outside that you're collecting, hang on to those. They will break down over time. And I add my flowers to it, and the flowers have more moisture in them. And so as that stuff breaks down, it adds great nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus back to your soil. And it enriches it. It feeds the microbes. And that's what you're really trying to do. And on the carbon side, I have all my paper towels, shredded paper. Way over on the side there, you see there's it's a book. It's a telephone book, but it's not actually a telephone book. That was for Medicare because we're old. But it was all the sources that you could go to for your Medicare. You can see boxes. If you use paper bags from the grocery store, you can break those up. They can go through the shredder. If you don't have a shredder, lay them out around your plants and put grass clippings on top. Grass clippings are another wonderful source. If you mulch and it goes back into your grass, well then that's one thing. But if you don't and you're throwing this away week after week, it really would add things back again. Your dryer lint, your vacuum, when we sweep up our vacuum, I normally, when I'm doing my HEPA filter vacuum, I don't give that to my worms because it has my hair in it, it has a lot of powder, you know, I'm a powder person, so it has all that in it, so I don't give that to the worms. But when Rick is sweeping up, because that's his job, we're retired, so we split the job. He sweeps up, he actually takes that because it's mainly sand as we're coming back and forth. Florida is a very sand-based state, and a lot of sand in our what comes on our shoes and what have you. So he gives that to my can of worms, and that really it's I probably wouldn't even have to give them eggshell because they get grit. But all these different things, I had to. I think that was it. Popsicle sticks, cork, what have you, crackers. Real quick funny story. My friend over at Vermicompost, Learn by Doing, that's Patrick and Autumn O'Brien. They're just about an hour west of me in near Tampa, Florida. He always mentions how he goes in the pantry and he finds things that have expired and he's always sprinkling something on. And I thought, gosh, how do you have so much that's expired? I don't. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, flour. When was the last time I bought flour? Oh, maybe it's been a year or two. And of course we keep everything contained so that we don't have bugs. And I started to look at this, and it says best used by October 16th, 2021. So this is like almost 3 years past its expiration date, and I thought, how long has it been in there? I don't really bake anymore. Rick's diabetic, so the flour and sugar we try to keep down to a minimum. So with all of that, I'm too wordy. We will go. This is week 37, and week 37. Brian was our neighbor up the street, brought us 26 pounds of grass clippings, bless his heart. And I mentioned to him, I said, by the way, if you have any boxes, I'm still saving them for my challenge. And he sent me a note back. Oh my goodness, I've totally forgotten about it. So he had this box out for me with some other little boxes in it, but it came to 1.5 pounds. So I had to take all of the tape and labels and everything. I could lay it flat out in the yard, out in my garden, and put grass clippings over it, and it will break down, and then the tape would just be laying there, and I could retrieve it that way. I wouldn't want to put it through my shredder because that would really gum things up. So that's just a tip. Of course, I could rip it up, but I choose to go through and take everything off, which is labor for me. But since this is my project and it's kind of a hobby, how much time do you spend on your hobby? Dave Collier over in Virginia, he's making spoons. How long, from a piece of wood? How long does that take? Is it gratifying? Does it make you feel like you're doing something? Yes. So this makes me feel like I'm doing something other than just getting old. So this week I got 51 pounds, 3.1 ounces. My total now is 1,427 pounds, 1.7 ounces. So I still need 575 pounds in 15 weeks. So it might be a touch and go on that. I'd like to think I was about another 100 pounds towards my goal, but I'm not. But I'll keep trying. And to quote Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he is a force, and I've listened to him talking to different people, and he always says the same thing: never give up. Keep on going. You might have to go in a different direction. You might have to back up and start again, but never give up. Keep on going. So I will leave you with that. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed Sunday with a strong dose of tenacity to get where you're going. And stay healthy, everyone. And I hope to see you back next week. But along the way, I hope you remember, garden what you've got. Take care. Bye-bye.